Well, good day. We're back in the Be Greater Faster's studios, and today we're delighted to have Doug Colker with Zorn and Associates to talk to us about some of the stimulus, the fog that, frankly, that's surrounding a lot of the stimulus, particularly with regard to the employer or employee retention credit. There's just a lot of confusion about it, and a lot of people don't think they qualify for it. So, Doug, welcome, and good to have you with us today.
Thank you, Ralph. It's great to be here and excited to inform a lot of folks, as you said, that are misinformed about the program.
Excellent. Well, listen, share just a little bit about Zorn and how you became such an expert in this particular government stimulus arena.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, a little over a year ago, we learned about the program. Obviously, it started March of 2020. This program came out through the CARES Act in March of 2020, approved by the government, runs right through the IRS. It's about a $2 trillion stimulus package. And as you mentioned, not only are a lot of folks and business owners misinformed about the program, there are also so many business owners that are still unaware of the program.
Wow.
From our experience, I would say you're probably looking at 60, 70, even upwards of 80% of business owners still have no idea about this employee retention tax credit program.
That's what's great. That's what's great about the government. They can go in and change something, but they don't have to tell you it's been changed. You just have to figure it out. So thank you for having done the spade work on it. So go ahead. And the other thing, I know this is very CPA friendly. A lot of these businesses have CPAs. Many of them have struggled through the PPP thing, but we're not here Zorn's not here to replace the CPA, but to bring that level of expertise on board that allows them to get the maximum value from what they're due. So I'll let you speak to that.
Absolutely. Yeah. In fact, we work hand in hand with most business owners, CPAs, comptrollers, CFOs, and CEOs. We encourage the CPAs or accountants for these businesses to even join us on the Zoom calls that we do on a daily basis or conference calls, because quite frankly, there's over 1,000 pages of IRS guidance on this program. And because it's a short-term stimulus program, most CPAs that manage, these folks' businesses, they don't specialize in these stimulus programs. So most CPAs, once they understand that we're experts in the field, they not only enjoy getting on these calls to learn more about us and then encourage their business owners to work with us directly. Many of these CPA firms refer all their other clients to us because they realize that we know what we're doing in the space. We keep up with all the legislation changes. We have a practitioner's line directly to the IRS. We speak to them multiple times a week because we're one of the top submitting firms in the nation on this ERTC program. So not only, as you said, Ralph, is it user friendly with the CPAs? It's really a very congruent relationship at the end of the day.
Well, that's high praise when you've got CPAs referring their other clients, because they're very protective of their client base. So tell our group a little bit more about how this got to be such a shadowy thing, in the sense that the regs changed. It came out one way, and now it's running under a different set of rules, and that's caused a lot of confusion. If you could help clear that fog up, it'd be great.
Of course. Yeah. Originally, when it came out, as you already mentioned at the beginning, about the PPP loans, which was also a little bit confusing, the payment protection program, it started out, obviously, everybody that applied originally, it was a loan. It required repayment or forgiveness, still does. When ERTC came out around the same time, the legislation dictated that you could not apply for PPP and ERTC. It was one or the other. So that's where right there where a lot of the confusion is.
Okay.
And since then, it changed, and now you can apply for both. Having said that, you cannot, the one restriction of our ERTC program that they're offering, you cannot double dip the wages that you used inside of the loan covered period of your PPP loans, you cannot use those same wages for the ERTC program. But the good news there is that we have a forensic team of CPAs inside of our firm that goes through all that information. When we request your PPP loan forgiveness application and you send it into our firm, we do all the calculations, extract everything out that needs to be taken out within the IRS guidance. And then but we also leave in what can be left in within the IRS guidance inside of the loan covered period, which is a big deal because there's a lot of folks out there. I will tell you, the companies that are doing this ERTC program, and what we've heard, the horror stories, quite frankly, are they're not maximizing the output for their clients on this ERTC program because they quite frankly just don't know how to. And that's something that we're extremely skilled at doing.
Okay. Well, just in case we've got any business owners dialed in who are wondering, what's in it for me, it's up to $26,000 per employee. And you tell me that they don't have to repay it. They can spend the money for anything, personal business, anything. Is that true?
Yeah, so that is true, Ralph. And again, a lot of people are very surprised when they hear that, but this is all the exact and direct IRS guidance. So you're right, it's up to $26,000 per employee between 20 and 21. The formula is it's up to $5,000 per employee in 2020 that you can claim, and that's using 50% of the wages. And that's between March 13th of 2020 to December 31st of 2020. So any of your employees that made $10,000 or more during that time period in 2020, you can claim $5,000 in benefit. In 2021, it goes up to $21,000 per employee, and the formula changes for 21. It's a significant amount of money in 21. So it's up to $7,000 per employee per quarter that you can claim for the first 3 quarters of 21. And that's now using 70% of the wages. So a quick live example there, somebody made $10,000 in Q1 of 21. You can claim $7,000 in benefit. That's 70% of their wages for the quarter. That's Q1, Q2, and Q3 of 21. So, and you're also correct in that it's not a loan. It does not require repayment or forgiveness. And any amount you receive that you're awarded on this program, there's no restrictions on how you spend the money. Again, unlike the PPP loans.
Yeah. So the $7,000 a quarter times 3 quarters is where you get the 21,000, and then you add back in the 5,000 from 2020, and that's the $26,000 math. Adds up.
That's
I
correct.
like it. Well, if a company decided that they wanted to either do business with Jorn or have an introductory, could you sort of walk through the process? I know there's a Zoom call that would be set up similar to what we're having here this morning, but just sort of walk through the process for them, how easy you make it for them.
Yeah, for sure. So our firm, Jorns and Associates, like you said, has a great system on the front end to get the information out, deliver the information, answer all the questions through a Zoom or a conference call. We have a calendar. I have a calendar invite anybody that you obviously have access to. So we set up a Zoom.
That's how we got here. Calendar.
That's how we got here. Yeah, and I'm quite frankly averaging anywhere between 10 and 20 Zoom calls or conference calls daily, Monday through Friday. And so that's why I'm a little bit hoarse. I apologize, but I have plenty of bandwidth to get the information out. We just set up these calls. I set them up in 30-minute blocks. It usually only takes me about really 10 to 15 minutes to get all the information out. If you were, for example, a business owner getting on a call or a Zoom with me, and then I want to make sure I get all your questions answered in that 30-minute window. That's why I block out the 30-minute sessions. And then after that, most businesses are moving forward. Then I send out from there, the process goes, I send out 2 emails. An engagement letter with the firm to go over the terms, and a welcome letter that has exactly what we need from you emailed to us: the payroll breakdown, forgiveness application for the PPP, the payroll and the P&Ls and the 941s. The way we get everybody their money on this is by filing amended 941X quarterly returns. And we do that for each client. We do all the heavy lifting. We just simply need everyone to send us the paperwork that we need on the front end. And then we go to work on our end with our forensic team of CPAs.
So those amended forms have to be done by quarter, each quarter amended.
Quarterly, yeah, because you have to get approved, and that's a great point, Ralph. Each client, each business owner, you need to get approved on this program. It's quarterly qualification. So there's basically 6 quarters that are in play. The last 3 quarters of 20, the first 3 quarters of 21, and we do need to get you qualified for each quarter. But with all the new legislation changes, we're having an extremely high success rate on the qualifications, keeping everything within the IRS guidance and being extremely conservative on that side.
Well, there's one term you didn't use when you were talking about Jordan, and that's the word proprietary. You've got some proprietary software I think you might ought to mention.
Absolutely, we do. Yeah, the firm, a couple years back toward the beginning of the program, they created an algorithm and a software that eliminates human error when doing all the calculations for the numbers that everybody qualifies for. So we combine that algorithm and software, which is proprietary, and we combine that with all the local, state, and federal ordinances and mandates that might have been in effect that can also, in conjunction with everything else we do for qualification purposes, help everyone qualify. So stay at home, stay safe, shelter in place, social distancing. Most businesses around the nation have been affected during some parts of the pandemic on those ordinances. Our firm keeps track of all those ordinances, so you, the business owner, never has to submit them because we have every one of them at our firm, and we submit them for each of our clients for each quarter that helps them qualify.
Thank you very much. That takes a lot of weight off. A lot of consulting companies come in and they're like, well, we're going to get 50% of what you get back and that sort of thing. I don't want to get into the particulars of it, but I would just encourage you to share with them, if they don't get any money back from the government, they really don't pay. And whatever they do, your fee comes out of the money that's collected, and frankly, it's the lowest I've heard of in the consulting business. So I'm just going to let you speak to that. You can cover it in more detail when they call you, set up the appointment, and get on the Zoom call. But I'll just give you an opportunity to share with them sort of how your fee structure might work.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, very straightforward. I mean, we have 2 fees associated with the firm. We have a contingency fee up front, quite frankly, of 15%. I don't have any problem sharing that. We don't have any clients really ever giving us, quite frankly, a hard time about that because it's reasonable, and we don't get our fee until the client gets their monies first from the IRS. We want to make sure you're taken care of, you get your monies on that side. And then we do have a small upfront refundable deposit. That's what puts our CPAs to work on you, the client, on your file. There's a lot of due diligence and deep dive that we go into. So it takes our CPAs a couple, maybe 2 to 3 weeks to go through everything. And they determine 2 things in those 2 to 3 weeks: how much you qualify for within the IRS guidance and how many quarters you qualify for within the IRS guidance. If they determine for whatever reason during that window of time that you don't qualify for the program, we simply ACH your deposit back immediately. So you're literally out nothing. And when you do qualify for the program, like most clients will, then that deposit gets credited towards the contingency fee.
There you go. And, as a consultant, if the client doesn't have any skin in the game at all, they tend to not get their records into you, and so just that small little upfront fee helps assure that everybody's on the page and pulling it in the same direction. So Doug, it's been great having you in today. I'm certainly excited. I hope you can tell by the program and what it offers these small business owners. Particularly, that's my focus. Every recession or depression we've ever been in, it's the small business owners who pull us out, and yet they're the least represented. They have the least resources to lean on, and so a lot of times these programs come and go. And I mean, I had a guy one time who was a cabinet maker, and it was back when they had the manufacturing tax credit. And he didn't see himself as a manufacturer. So I'm building cabinets. You're taking wood and you're converting it into cabinets. That's manufacturing. And so there's no telling how many tens of thousands of dollars this guy lost. He just didn't know, So it's great that you guys have taken the time to read the 1,000 pages. God bless you, of IRS guidelines. I certainly wouldn't do it. Most, as you pointed out, most CPAs don't have the time, particularly when it's a short run program. Who wants to do that when the program is going to be expiring in a year? So again, I want to thank you for coming in the studio. Why don't you give your phone number out here briefly at the end? And this will be going out to a number of people that I think would qualify for or would want this valuable information by email, so they can have my name and number and email address as well. But just go ahead and shoot it out if you would.
Yeah, sure. So my email is Doug, first name DOUG @jornscpa.com. And my phone number is 818-674-0632.
Hey, great. Thanks again, Doug, for coming. It's been a blast. Take care.
Thank you, Ralph. Appreciate you having me on. Look forward to helping a lot of companies out there.
There you go. Thank you.
All right.